Now moving on to a story about a movie that I don't think should have been made. The trailers, the teasers actually, that have been released, those haven't deterred me from seeing it, so that's not the issue. We're talking about here, by the way, if you guys are wondering, Toy Story 4. And those two teasers didn't make me not want to go see the movie. I
Right.
just feel as if the movie doesn't need to be made. There comes a point when I think, especially with animation, especially with animation as good as Toy Stories, that the movies stand on their own. We don't need more. We're good.
Yeah.
Tristan, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, Toy Story is basically my favorite Pixar movie.
Unaware of this
Um,
until right this second, actually. Well, no. I mean, before this story, but still, this week is when I was like, "Oh shit, really?" I had no idea.
it's my absolute favorite. So when, 3 came out and it felt like they kind of wrapped up
Yeah,
the gang's story,
yeah, especially
hearing
for
hearing
us.
yeah, so like I heard this and I'm like, "Oh, that's not true. They're not making another one." And then I see the trailer and I'm like, "You got to be you are you fucking kidding?"
Yeah, I knew they were already
Uh,
making one, so that already passed by me already.
Right.
Um,
So this was another
yeah.
thing that I came back to the internet after being sick for 2 days straight, and I'm like,
Well,
hmm,
here's what's funny.
well,
Here's what's
that's a
funny,
thing.
Tristan. The
Yeah.
first teaser, the one where they were all in the circle with the spork,
Right.
that one came out first, and it went head
Right.
to head because it came out on the same day with the Detective Pikachu trailer.
Right.
So
Yeah.
those two battled it out, and then people were saying online, I don't really believe it, but people were saying maybe they released the second teaser because of Detective Pikachu getting so many views, because it got
Right.
millions of views compared to Toy Story's millions, but not as many millions. Like when it
Yeah.
came to, because even if it got seen a bunch of times, and even if there's more likes on the Toy Story 4 one than there is the Detective Pikachu one, my feed, and this is on Twitter, but even on Facebook too, I'm sure you noticed when you got back, more people were talking about Detective Pikachu than they were Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
Companies don't like that. Big
Yeah.
big companies that are releasing the fourth film in their franchise going up against juggernauts like Pokemon, they don't like that.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily believe that they released the second one just to counteract it, maybe to release something funny with Key and Peele. I don't
Right.
believe that, but I've never heard of two teaser trailers coming out within days of each other.
Right.
That was interesting because one came out one day after the other.
Yeah.
And it was strange because the Key and Peele one, I think it was a lot better than the short teaser with the spork, only because I know Key and Peele. Not
Right.
personally, I don't know, but I've seen their show, and I've also seen Get Out, which is nothing like Toy Story, but I've seen Get Out, and I've seen some other stuff that they've been in that's been funny as well. I'm pretty sure both of them used to be on Mad TV as well back in the day. So I've
Right.
enjoyed their comedy careers for years, even before I knew them. Like, because I saw them on Mad TV when I was younger, but it didn't connect when I saw them in Key and Peele that they were one and the same. I was like, oh my god, that's them! So they played two characters in Key and Peele that were two dudes who just walked out of a movie theater who got a bunch of shit wrong.
Mm.
Like, they'd be talking about Transformers. They'd be like, hey, man, did you just see Transmorphers? Oh, dude, that point when Optimus Prime got together with
Mm.
Bumblebee? That was dope. Like, that's what they would just do. And they would just completely... They'd be like, oh, that dude,
Yeah.
Michael B. Always with those explosions. Oh, my God, Michael B. And like that, they would just get every part of it wrong. So, them essentially playing those characters, but as plushies...
Yeah.
to me was hilarious. Also, the random references to like the Care Bear stuff as the Care Bear and the Cabbage Patch, because the trailer
Right.
starts off
Yeah.
with him going, "I don't care what Cabbage Patch you're from, you better give me back my Viewmaster."
Right.
It felt like
You're more like a don't care bear.
it felt like they didn't even give them a script. They were like, "Dudes,
Right.
just wing it,"
Yeah.
and they
Exactly.
just winged the whole thing. And then they crafted it around, like Tom Hanks had to come in being an old man. Even though it's funny, he's not like Woody's not necessarily an old man, although technically he's based off of a character from the 50s. But still, he's not an old man. But Tom Hanks coming in has to be like, "Hey guys, settle
Guys.
down."
Yeah.
It's just really
It's
fun.
to infinity and beyond.
And they just laugh. They talk about you know nothing about science because it was I don't know for me because I could see them as Key and Peele and only Key and
Right.
Peele. It's a bit different than like Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu, where I want to see him more as Detective Pikachu than Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
I love Ryan Reynolds, but I want to see it more like okay, this is the character of Pikachu, not this is Deadpool in Pikachu's body, right? In this case though, I have no problem just seeing it as Key and Peele in the body of two plushies. I'm
Right.
fine with that. But at the same time, though, we should acknowledge the movie's a thing. I mean, we do have to put it out there. Like, I'm still not
Yeah.
sold on the idea of there being a fourth movie because I don't see, even if it's a great movie, I don't see what new ground it can cover other than maybe them meeting the spork and teaching everyone that anything can be a toy.
Yeah.
Which is a good message,
Right.
but I just don't really see why there needs to be a new one because, frankly, you could put the first one in theaters again, and I don't think kids would hate it, and
Yeah, no,
you would want to see it again.
Yeah.
So win-win. And then other
Yeah.
people who are a bit older than us but still enjoyed Toy Story when they were younger, and they have kids, they would bring their kids to see it.
Right.
So that's just my take on it. Like I don't see why there needs to be another one. It's not like a remake necessarily because but like the first ones are they still look so good. They still hold up.
Yeah.
And they have all the assets. So in my opinion, you could bring out the first one again and be like it's 4K, ultra fucking violet. And
Oh my God.
ultraviolet is a thing.
Right.
The fucking part is not in the promotional material, but ultraviolet is actually a thing, Tristan. I don't know if he knows that. But seriously though, you could just put it out again because they can enhance the raw materials that they have
Right.
in some way or another. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think this needs to be made, but I do enjoy that it seems to be in a completely different environment because looking at the plushies, it looks like it's going to be set in a carnival, which I don't want them to be at someone else's house.
Right.
Their story with Andy is done. I don't need to see them with another kid. What
I mean-
about Andy?
Yeah, that would be the only thing I could have seen. Like after 3 would be them with the little girl that Andy gives off
No.
the toys to at the end.
Yeah,
But
I mean, no. All jokes aside, my issue is this: if they went with that,
as a
it's-
movie, what else could they do with it?
Exactly. So perhaps they go to a carnival, and she's having a blast, and then all of a sudden something happens, and then they have to leave.
It's funny. I don't think that they're going to show her at all. I think this might be
Oh.
like even further into the future. Like she's grown up. They're
Even
literally like on the
further.
side of the road somewhere.
Beyond. No, what I was thinking would happen is, and this is just like my idea for like a nice family-friendly movie, PG-13 affair. They go to the carnival. It's during the day, but then they have to leave because they forgot that it's purge night, and they have to leave before the sirens at 6 p.m. So they
Oh.
leave.
My God.
So they leave all the toys will be fine. What, you're gonna destroy
Yeah.
toys during the purge?
Are you telling me that Toy Story takes place in the Purge universe? Okay.
Tristan, we've had the most ambitious crossover ever. We've had crossovers before that have been a little weird. Don't lie to me, Tristan. We've had some odd crossovers.
Oh my God.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that
No,
one.
you're not wrong. I'm just.
There was that crossover with Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and Toriko. This is real. So, the Purge could exist within Toy Story's universe. That's all I'm saying. But, no, but, by the way, they would then flash to after Purge night, but the kid can't go back to get the toys. We wouldn't see the Purge night. I'm not saying that's what we'd see.
Oh my God.
The question is, Tristan, if Purge Night does exist in that universe, are the toys allowed to murder each other? Because they're not men or women or anyone else under the law. They are not human. So
Right.
are they allowed to purge on Purge Night? Or is it even considered purging at all due to the fact that they're not people?
I mean, the toys would probably consider it murder, seeing as how the first movie revolves around Woody nearly killing Buzz, and the other toys trying to get retribution on him.
That was the cut script. That was cut. That's not the actual one. I don't think they're going to use. Square Enix did not get the message. They're using that script for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh my god.
Anyway, all jokes aside. All jokes aside.
I'm gonna have to sit you down and make you watch the first Toy Story again.
No, but it wasn't. It was much worse in the cut version. No. If you think that's if you think that's what we got in Toy Story, I'm going to show you the storyboards from the version that we never got.
Right? Yeah. No, I've seen it.
It's worse.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You're making it seem like that's the actual plot in a nutshell. I'm like, oh no, Tristan Walter. But anyway, all jokes aside though, what else can you do? If you're going to make something different, make them go somewhere else. What I am worried about is, have you seen some of the shorter Toy Story like Halloween or Christmas specials?
Older ones, probably not the more recent ones.
Oh, I don't know how recent any recent ones were. I thought they were all after Toy Story 3. Were some of them in between Toy Story 2 and 3?
I think they had some shorts between those two, but yeah, there have been shorts after Toy Story 3. I think I may have seen one of them.
I've only seen some of the Halloween ones. If not one, I've seen two. I liked them. I liked them a lot. Okay. Because they're just little short bursts of Toy Story. Why not?
Right, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, our fun little gang gets into some adventure at, like the 7-Eleven equivalent. All right, for 5 to 15 minutes. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. However, I'm worried that this might be an elongated version of that.
Right.
Like, they get into, like, all jokes aside with the Purge Night thing, the idea is I'm worried she leaves them somewhere. And then it becomes one of those, oh no, they left the toy somewhere. Well, we have to be here for the next hour and 20.
Right.
And then after that, it's like, hey, yay, she found them. Oh, goodness gracious. Isn't that wonderful? So yeah, and I agree with you, Tristan, because you mentioned that it felt like they really wrapped up everyone's story with Toy Story 3, and yeah, it just felt as if it was a great way to end everything. So I'm worried that the fourth one will not do as well as the other ones have done.
Yeah.
And it's just going to end where maybe they actually plan to do some really cool 3-movie arc thing. Not like a Marvel situation, but they actually had good stories planned out. But this one just feels like a cash grab, which is, it's funny for us to say because we're fans of very long-running franchises. We have to be real.
Yeah.
We really are. So, like, it sounds like it's funny coming from us. But it's just that some of our fun franchises, some of them don't feel finished. And that's why another movie comes out. Like, I do wonder how, let's say, Marvel will do after Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
Right.
Because some people might feel like it's over. Even though there's still Spider-Man and there's a bunch of other... And, heck, X-Men will probably be brought into the universe as well with the Disney-Fox merger. But still, to some, it feels like they've gotten the end, perhaps, after the second Infinity War movie. Right?
Right.
So I do wonder how things will go after that. But when it comes to, like, Dragon Ball Z, it was so open-ended with the end of Dragon Ball Z. And hell, Super takes place before the end of Dragon Ball Z. Because there's no Oob yet. So, interestingly enough, there are certain cases where even long-running franchises that we enjoy, they still have open-ended endings, which they then come back maybe like 5-10 years later, or they didn't end in a way where there was some big anticlimactic thing. It was just like, oh, have we not been renewed? All right, cool. So that season's over, and so is the show. But in this case, the way it was crafted, especially with the gap between Toy Story 2 and 3, it felt like it was a good end.
Yeah.
It felt like we were all growing up and it was time for us to grow up and move on. And then after a bit they were like, psych! Award-winning franchise, baby! Getting that green, and we're just like, oh, okay, so fuck all of us.
Yeah.
So I don't, by the way, I don't think the movie's going to be bad. I don't. Like I said, I'm nervous. I am nervous. But I don't think it's going to be bad. I just think that, like you said earlier, Tristan, is it needed?
Yeah.
And I don't think it's needed. That's my issue. But
But I mean, like,
yeah.
that's the thing. I love Toy Story,
Mm-hmm.
but it did feel like the story was done.
Yeah. I agree as well, and that's the saddest thing about it is that it looks fun, but it seems like the story is over. Why are we continuing? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll say this much though. What do you guys think? If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, do you think that this is a blatant cash grab? Do you think that you will like it irregardless, whether or not it's a cash grab, or you think it's going to be an amazing movie, or you think that it needed to be made? That's the opposite of cash grab. Do you think it needed to be made? Either way, though, I want to hear if you guys will enjoy it or not, or if you think you will. Tristan, you liked the trailers? Yes, no, maybe so.
It's to infinity and beyond.
You don't understand science. I, I liked the trailers. They're not going to make me want to go see it day one, though. That's the thing. This, I do feel like this is I will catch it on Netflix or on Disney's streaming service.
Right.
That's how I feel. This is one of those situations. But again, tell me what you guys think down below.